mean, that's very important. That's the whole reason why Rizal had to write El Filibusterismo, di ba? And essentially, the Simon way of doing things, which is burn it down and let's burn down the whole house. It's not gonna end well for anyone, right?
Yes, and we will be set back again because any political uh, political disturbance, upheaval here will set us back economically. We will be far behind again.
and others will exploit it. China will take even more chunks of West Philippines, the more
Yeah,
unstable and weak we are internally. So I think people
yeah.
have to
If we
understand.
are not united, our enemies, foreign enemies, will take advantage of that. So uh, I think the focus now, the onus is on the Supreme Court to look at this in a broader scheme, because people are getting disillusioned. I can feel it. You
Absolutely.
can
I
feel
mean,
it, I'm sure.
Duterte's victory, right? Erap's victory, Duterte's victory, even BBM's victory. All of these are protest votes. These are protest votes. I mean, people have just lost faith in reform and rule of law and all of that. So if Ibarra was wrong per Rizal and Simon is even more wrong, how can we really push for transformative change, justice, in ways that liberal reformists were not able to do? Kasi I think both of us can agree, ang dami rin ng kakulangan ni Ramos, ni Pinoy, despite their best intentions. How do we do it better this time? Dapat ba mas palaban tayo? Should we be even more aggressive and unforgiving to masyado ba tayong soft on people who are na binabastos yung ating sistema? What should we do? More mobilization?
Well, we have to get back our values because we have lost a lot of our values, and appeal to uh, remaining uh, the remaining bastion in government that can correct this uh, these aberrations. No, so that's why. Well, we won a little victory there in the TRO, but that will be nothing if the entire funds, if the rest of the funds will be lost. No, so we need this victory to show to the people you don't have to ask for a rev gov because it can be done if we follow the rule of law. I'm always for that. We can solve this to the rule of law, but it's difficult to 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 work on this. But we don't have a choice because the alternative really is uh, rev gov where there are no rules.
Yeah, absolutely. Desperation is dangerous. I think warning shot na yung nangyari kay Digong and how far it could go with. So to be fair also, I mean, we can talk about lack of critical thinking because of our education system as we can know, but we also have to, I think this is where I come in, we also have to understand bakit bukas ang tao sa isang katulad ni Digong dahil desperado din sila sa tunay na pagbabago. Except yung nakuha natin pagbabago ay mas it set us back even more, not to mention costing thousands of lives. Now, Justice, let's go to the last part of our discussion. West Philippine Sea. This is one area that I think we're moving in the right direction precisely because we move in such a wrong direction, right? Under Duterte. So I think that was really a wake-up call. So West Philippine Sea has become much closer to our sense of urgency, policy discussion, almost a gut issue in ways it never was, thanks to how scary it got during Duterte's time. And one person that obviously played a very important role in mainstreaming the West Philippine Sea issue and making it sure na ito ay relatable sa bawat Pilipino at the most fundamental level of consciousness and nationalism, it's you, Justice. And one of the means that you deployed are maps. Dahil napaka-visual ang Pinoy, di ba? Hindi visual sa libro, pero visual sa maps. Can you tell me a little bit about the journey, the Velarde map, and all of these different maps that you've put together, and also yung latest na ginawa natin over the weekend by an hour? So that was the Philippine National Library event we had. Can you tell us a little bit about that and the importance of that?
Yeah, well, I have what I call the Four Maps Project to establish Philippine sovereignty over Scarborough Shoal and the Calayan Island Group. And we start uh, with the Murillo Velarde map. Then the next map is the 1808 Carta General, and then the 1875 Carta General, and finally the Treaty of Paris map. Now, uh, the, the map will easily show to school children and to the public why we have sovereignty over Scarborough Shoal and the Calayan Island Group. No? And the 1734 map is called the mother of all Philippine maps because it was widely copied. And you can see there, when you look at the map, you can see Scarborough Shoal there. It's called Panacot. It was called Panacot at the time. And then you can see Los Baos de Paragua. That's the Spratlys. So way back in 1734, when nobody else claimed Scarborough Shoal and the Spratlys, we claimed them as part of Philippine territory. And that map is an official map, the first official map of Philippine territory during the Spanish regime. And the 1808, that was uh, the next map, official map of Philippine territory. And you can see Scarborough Shoal there with deaf soundings because Malaspina went to Scarborough in 1792 because it was famous because the British thick clipper ship Scarborough ran aground. European cartographers renamed the shoal Scarborough. And so he went there and he measured the depths around the rocks to guide navigators. And in 1808, when they made a new map of the Philippines, they inserted that survey. Very unique because the rest of the country had no hydrographic survey, no depth sounding. So you can easily see that that's special to the Philippines. And then the third map is the complete map, really, the most detailed complete map, because the maker of the map, a certain naval officer named Claudio Montero, was the head of the Philippine Hydrographic Commission during the Spanish regime. And he had two ships, he conducted depth soundings all over the country. So the map, if you look at the islands, they have all depth soundings, and especially in the Spratlys, all the islands there, Pag-asa is there, Kota is there, Ligao is there, and they have depth soundings. So, and China has no map like that. Vietnam, none, Malaysia, none. So we have all these maps, and these are official maps because you can see there it's an official publication of Spain made by their equivalent of their NAMRIA. And the Americans, when they came here, they adapted because the map that they made in the 1898 treaty was incomplete. The one that I donated last week it was incomplete. So that the value of that map is that it led
Kaya
to
nga
the
eh.
second treaty, the Treaty of
Right,
Washington. And the Treaty of Washington says Spain also ceded to the US all other islands belonging to the Philippine archipelago lying outside the lines because the Treaty of Paris ceded to the US only islands within the treaty lines, and it
right.
excluded Scarborough Shoal, it excluded the Spratlys and Cagayan de Sulu and Sabuto. So because of the 1898 map was incomplete, they had to do a second treaty to complete the cession of the entire Philippine archipelago.
Right.
So that second treaty says Spain ceded to the US any and all islands belonging to the Philippine archipelago lying outside the lines. So you have there, it's complete. What was ceded in the Treaty of Paris were the islands within the lines. What was ceded in the Treaty of Washington were the islands outside the line.
Outside lines. So
So
anong
the
so
question
anong
is, what
anong
are those islands outside the lines? You go
exactly.
to the 1875 map because when the Americans came here, they found out that this was the most complete map. So they adapted it as their own map. And in fact, in the arbitration in Islas Palmas between the US and Netherlands over that small island in Mindanao, the Americans said this 1875 map is an official map of Philippine territory during the Spanish regime and during the American regime. So there you are. That is the problem is we don't have an original print of that map. We only have an image copy, a digital image copy, which I downloaded. But we will look for an original print of that map.
Saan kaya yun? May bumili ng private ano?
Yeah, in
investment.
the auction houses, I saw two that were sold already. I was too late, but maybe now and then a collector would offer it for sale. So we will just have to wait.
Yeah. At obviously hindi siya mura. So yeah, more power to you, Justice, and the rest raising the money for that. Last point on this. Actually, I was a bit disappointed, Justice, with our event at the National Library dahil hindi mo binanatan si the man, our ancient legal luminaries, right? Mendoza and Rile. Bakit? Mabait ka masyado nung araw na yan, Justice? Was it because may bagyo and all?
Well, well, I, I want them to retract. So the message there was, let's have a common narrative because we cannot beat China if we're divided. And we have proof here that your statements in the past were wrong. So just correct it for the sake of the Filipino nation. So you have to be kind to them, and hopefully they will agree with what you want.
Kaya pala walang question and answer. Sana ipupush sana kita pang content eh. Actually, I live stream part of your discussion and there was a lot of response. Sabi ko, dami palang gising sa umaga and all no, sa atin from all around the world. Mabuhay ka, Justice. Thank you so much for what you're doing. So, that means nang yung ating mga kabataan, pwede na nila makita itong mga mapa na ito dyan sa National Library at saka yung mga ibang mahalagang lugar.
Yes, according to the director of the National Library, they will open it this November, the permanent gallery where they can see the 1734 Murillo Velarde map and the 1898 Treaty of Paris map.
Right. On that optimistic, well, slightly more optimistic note, kasi medyo na-depress na tayo dun sa earlier parts of discussion. Kasi parang you imagine, grabe yung challenge talaga sa atin for good governance and all that. But I would say one of the bright spots is at least pagdating sa West Philippines, nagkakaroon tayo ng public consciousness, at least nagkakaroon tayo ng political consensus. Diba? Just remember how far we have come since 2016,
Yes.
2018.
Yeah. We imagine that we were fighting our own president. That
Yeah.
was terrible. Those were very difficult days.
I mean, he was fighting the governor of China. I'm sorry, fighting the president of the Philippines back then was really, really something, right? So
The president of the Philippines was the one defending China's invasion of the Philippines.
minsan I wonder, Justice, maybe abogado si Digong pero hindi sa Philippines. Abogado siya ng Chinese Constitution. Kasi parang galing-galing niya mag-defend ng China, pero ang sablay niya mag-defend ng sarili niyang bansa or ating saligang batas, di ba? I wonder where he got his like, legal theories and ideas. On that note, thank you so much, Justice. Is there a particular thing you want people to check out aside from the National Library? Where can they find the other maps? The Velarde map, AIM ba yun? Saan ba yung mga ibang maps?
The Velarde map is also in the National Library.
National
So
Library, yeah.
two maps there. We're trying to look for an original print of the 1875 map.
Mabuhay ka, Justice. Alam mo naman, I love this talking to you